Imagine being sabotaged at work, humiliated in front of your CEO, and left feeling like your career was over, all because of one power-hungry executive. Now imagine waiting years for your perfect moment of revenge. Well, when that moment finally came, I made sure his entire legacy ended in laughter, and not the kind he wanted. If you've ever wished karma would hit your boss like a freight train, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and buckle up, because this story is one of the most satisfying revenge tales you'll ever hear. When I first started at this company, I thought I had it made. Good salary, talented coworkers, exciting projects. But there was one person who poisoned the whole experience: our executive. He wasn't just a bad boss. He was the kind of person who would sell out his own team in a heartbeat if it meant saving face. If there was even the smallest chance he might be blamed for something, he would shove that blame onto someone else so fast it'd make your head spin. And, unfortunately, I became one of his targets. I still remember the day. We had a big project update meeting with the CEO. I had spent weeks preparing, every detail nailed down. But when the CEO questioned a small hiccup, something completely out of my control, the executive swooped in like a vulture. Instead of backing me up, he twisted the facts right there in the meeting. He made it sound like I had dropped the ball. My hands were literally shaking under the table. I wanted to scream, "That's not true," but when your superior is confidently throwing you under the bus, what chance do you have? By the end, the CEO's trust in me was shattered. I walked out of that room with my stomach in knots, humiliated. And the kicker? Later, his own admin assistant, the sweetest woman in the office, came to me with tears in her eyes. She said, "I don't know how you do it. He did you dirty in there, and he does it to everyone. I'm so sorry." That broke me. Not just the sabotage, but seeing how many others he'd crushed along the way. And here's the thing, he never stopped. Over the years, I watched this man bulldoze through careers, making people doubt themselves, forcing others to quit. He was untouchable because he played politics like a master.
So I learned to stay quiet, to put my head down.
But deep inside, I carried that humiliation like a scar. Every time I saw his smug smile, every time I heard him correct someone in public just to show dominance, I fantasized about seeing him taken down. But nothing ever happened. He kept climbing, coasting, protecting himself, until the day finally came. It was announced he was retiring. Now, most people would have thrown a party out of relief. But guess who got assigned to host his farewell celebration?
Yeah, me.
At first, I thought, great, now I have to smile and clap for the guy who ruined my reputation. But then something clicked. I realized this was my moment, my one chance to flip the script. And fate handed me the perfect weapon. See, this executive had gone to an Ivy League school back in the day. And, fun fact, during a weird long-term study, incoming freshmen were actually photographed in the nude for science. Yes, our Ivy League study. I kept the poster hidden until the big day, nerves buzzing through me. My heart would race every time I imagined the reveal. But mixed with the nerves? Pure joy. Because finally, the tables were turning. The cafeteria was packed. Employees gathered, chatting, waiting for the big send-off. There were balloons, cake, polite speeches. He walked in, smug as ever, probably expecting a standing ovation. And then it was my turn. I walked up front, holding the massive poster rolled up in my hands. My palms were sweaty, my chest tight. I glanced at him, and for a split second, I saw the same arrogance he had worn for decades. I smiled. "Ladies and gentlemen," I announced, "we wanted to dig deep into our executive's past to find the perfect memory for today. And after some research, we managed to uncover his freshman photo."
Gasps.
Curious murmurs. All eyes on me. And with one dramatic motion, I unrolled the poster. There it was, his face plastered on a nearly naked guy in a Speedo, striking a ridiculous pose on the beach. For half a second, there was silence. His eyes went wide. His mouth literally dropped open. And then, like a dam bursting, the room erupted in hysterical laughter. People doubled over. Tears streamed down faces. Some were clapping. Others were gasping for breath between laughs. Even his own assistant nearly fell out of her chair. I handed him a marker and said, grinning, "We thought everyone should sign it as a keepsake." The look on his face? Priceless.
Shock.
Embarrassment. Rage he couldn't express. He tried to laugh it off, but his forced smile was paper-thin. For once, he was the one humiliated in front of everyone. It wasn't cruel. I didn't ruin his career. He was already retired. But I stripped away the control he had always wielded. I took the spotlight he used to crush others and turned it back on him. The man who had made me feel small, incompetent, and powerless was finally the joke. And the laughter? Oh, it was healing. Years of bottled-up frustration evaporated in that sound. It wasn't the send-off he expected, but it was the one he deserved. Sometimes karma doesn't show up when you want it. But if you wait long enough, life always gives you a chance to set things right. And when it does, oh, it's sweeter than you can imagine. If this story gave you chills, or made you laugh as hard as his coworkers did, smash that like button and tell us in the comments, what's the most satisfying revenge you've ever witnessed? And of course, subscribe for more stories where karma finally gets the last word.